Now, so looking at doing some practice here for the Ford GT Mark II Grand Prix that's coming up. And like, yeah, you have a good few different conditions here, and I'm kind of going off of the base time that's in the game right now. So I'm not exactly sure how other people are doing, but say like the last one of these times in the contest is complete it in 129. And so far I've nailed a 127.6. But yeah, I'm just gonna give a run through like the pathway that I'm using for this. Now obviously like this track is new, and I can't stress this enough. Practice this track and practice with this car, because if you want to win this thing, like, you're going to need to do some practice on this one. I've upgraded it fully with the exception of handling, because yeah, I'm going to use that for an upgrade tomorrow. So there's like a handling upgrade and a import part not applied there. But yeah, like this track, it doesn't make too much difference. One, handling isn't the end of the world. But for now, in this practice stage, I can't stress this enough. I would spend effectively all day running this course if you want to come away with this Ford GT, which is a mid-range B-class car, but still, it's a cool enough car to add to any garage. And yeah, like, hopefully, if you're having troubles with this track, I'll go through the run that I'm using for this, and some other problems with slowdown and stuff that's on it. But yeah, just like drifting through here. The side portions of New York don't seem as punishing as a lot of the other courses. You'll notice you can like run onto the footpath quite a bit here. And yeah, just like, I know there is the goal to get 11 360s. I wouldn't worry about that. Missed both nitros. But you can pick up both nitro bottles if you get a 360 and nailed right. One key thing in this, if you want to get a decentish time at all, you have to go to the upper portion up here and land into the tunnel here. It's kind of a strange portion. There's a load of options on this bridge, but one of the best I found is just to go as straight as possible, like right across the middle. And it sucks because, yeah, like there is little ramps and stuff on the side, but they don't offer too much in the lines of Nitro Bar, or I haven't found a different one so far. I could be completely wrong with that, but like I said, I'm just basing my time off the end. Don't drift too much. Make sure you keep enough nitro here, because you want to be able to shockwave these ramps. And a bit of slowdown there, but like, it just worry about the speedometer, not the actual performance of the game itself. Because yeah, there is slowdown when you're coming around that corner, and it's a bit nuts. But like, if you actually just focus on the actual speed of the car itself, yeah, like, it's not losing speed. It's just the game's performance is woeful in a couple of places since this. But yeah, you can see what I mean here. It's like how close you can come to the side railing on the edge of the New York circuit. It's pretty cool. It doesn't have like the kind of footpaddy parts, and like, you can go effectively right up to it without getting slowed down too much from this car's blistering top speed of 188 miles an hour. But yeah, it's fair enough though on a few different places. Like, so just be aware of like where you might have a bit more freedom. 360 here, and yeah, if you go straight down, yeah, it was a bit off to the right, but if you go straight down the middle, you can pick up both of those in a 360, and it'll give you enough to kind of shockwave onto the ramp after that. If you, yeah, just perfectly kind of line it up. I just messed it up. This is, like I said, I've been practicing this one all day. Coming down here, open drifting around, shockwave to keep up that speed. And then, yeah, just, again, making up as much nitro as possible here, but just make sure you go left-hand side so that you can get up into the air and then slot down into that upper area, because that is, like, it's a boring part of the track, which is strange, but yeah, definitely not too bad. 126.7 time put in from that. And yeah, the maximum time required for these practices 129. So 3 seconds ahead of that should be decent enough, hopefully, for a tier 2 group in this Grand Prix, hopefully. We'll see though how the days progress. But like, I'm gonna obviously be upgrading that car a bit more tomorrow. It's just like one set of upgrades, and yeah, gonna practice it again. But I said I'd upload like a run like that of this one. The car itself, yeah, it's a B class car with a maximum ceiling of 4 stars. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it is a really pretty car with a maximum ceiling of 4 stars. It is just a case of, like, yeah, that thing is genuinely, like, it's not quite amazing, but at the same time, it is pretty cool. It's definitely, I'm going to be going for it. And yeah, it is one where, like, you're going to need to do some practice on this one because, like, the Grand Prix for it starting off on New York City. So, like, a new track, new car, practice, 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 practice. I will just point out, by the way, there is one of those goals that says to do 11 360s in a single race. What I would advise for that is effectively, like, don't try and do 11 360s in your actual runs. Basically, wait until you mess up really badly in a run and then just, yeah, do all the 360s then. And, like, you're going to be practicing this one a lot over the next day or so. So, yeah, just do, like, those 360s in a mess up run. Something like this. And try and, like, drift, fill up the nitrometer, shockwave, regain the top speed, back to 188. Hard drift then to fill up the nitrometer onto the inside ramp and punch yourself up onto the upper pathway and then spam 360s because that run's gone in the toilet. Yeah. But yeah, just basically don't do them in, you know, a run where you're, like, trying for a good time and doing actual practice, because 11 360s is a bit overkill, especially for the Ford GT here. Looking at the rest of this Grand Prix though here, and say these are the stages going forward. So just in case anyone's freaking out the fact that, oh no, this is going to be all 10 of the New York tracks. It's not. They're not all great tracks. So, like, yeah, you have Leaps and Bounds from New York is the only one of the new tracks that's going to be involved in this Grand Prix. Then Osaka's Rat Race, which shows up in, I think that's been in all the Grand Prix so far. Podong Rise in Shanghai. It's an awesome track, especially for a top speed car like that. Looking forward to this. Lighthouse in Scotland is that short little, like, 40-second or so Scotland track, which I don't know why it's always pushed into these Grand Prix, and it really kind of, it's a bit of an equalizer because it doesn't matter how much you tune up the cars for Scotland's Lighthouse track. It's so short that, like, tuning doesn't really make a difference. It's just down to nailing a good run in that one. So, like, you probably get the same time nearly from a 1-star, from a 4-star car in it. Himalayas dipping down, that's one that tuning is going to come into it. Like, if you don't tune it up for dipping down, you are going to lose some serious points in this Grand Prix because that's such a long course. It's like a 2-minute long track nearly, especially in something like this. Like, the speed, handling, nitro are all going to make a huge difference, especially as you're going into, like, yeah, such a long track. Reach for the Sky, another 40-second track. Tuning pointless there. It's not going to make any difference. US Midwest Whirlwind Curve. Yeah, that's another long enough track as well. But, like, hopefully people can see from there anyway. It's like, it's not too bad. You can practice it if you have the actual Ford GT, you know, the default one that's in the game originally. You could practice those stages right now and give a couple of runs of it because there's not a massive pile of difference between this. Like, the Ford GT used to handle a lot worse. Like, this one is obviously, like, slightly better, but at the same time it'll give you an idea just if you're kind of looking for something to do to practice and get something done towards the Grand Prix before it actually opens up. I would, like, strongly advise trying to qualify as fast as possible, since you obviously get those qualification rewards. Those will disappear once the actual round 1 stages come in, and you'll get new quests every day. So, like, there's 8 blueprints for the GT to be had there, or 8 blueprints to be missed there. So just, yeah, do try and gun for at least that 129 time and get those 11 360 runs out of the way as well with that. But as always with these Grand Prix, kind of, like, see where you land, see the tier, think about, do you want to pump, like, tokens and stuff into this car. And I would always stress, like, if you're going to invest in the car, you may as well invest tokens early and get it up to, like, say 2 or 3 stars and then get the blueprints from those qualification stages. I would not advise, like, ever, if you're going to go for the car, either do it early or else don't do it, because if you start pumping tokens a bit late, you will just absolutely, like, yeah, you'll be trying to claw back points that you've lost early on, so it makes it very difficult. But it's all down to the groups you end up in. You could end up in a group where you're the best racer, or you could end up in a group with either like somebody who's after sandbagging down into your tier, or you could just end up in a fairly tough competitive group like I did in the last Grand Prix. I really had to fight for my 4th place finish and the key for my SC18. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video helps a small bit with the start of this New York Grand Prix for the pretty awesome Ford GT Mark II. If it did, sub button, other videos, comment down below. No, give a like, not one of these. But yeah, guys, good luck always and drive safe. Unless you're in my group, in which case crash and don't drive safe.